Brightville High School was a busy school where students wore shiny badges and carried books full of dreams. Everyone had a story to tell, but when it came to love, the school had its own whispers and secrets. Among all the laughter and chaos, three tales stood out. Mia was the girl with a smile like the sun. Her long black hair danced in the wind as she walked through the hallways. Then there was Jaden, a shy boy with glasses too big for his face. He loved reading and writing poems. One day, Jaden found Mia sitting under the old oak tree in the schoolyard, crying quietly. He offered her his chocolate bar, and she laughed through her tears. They started talking every day. Soon, Mia discovered Jaden had a funny side, and Jaden realized Mia loved the little things, like stars and the smell of new books. Their friendship grew into something beautiful. They made study dates, exchanged notes, and slowly became inseparable. But every love story faces a test. Mia's friend thought Jaden was boring. "Why are you wasting time with him?" they teased. But Mia didn't care. Jaden made her feel special, and that was all she needed. Their relationship blossomed like a sunflower, reaching for the sky. On the other side of the school was Noah, the coolest guy in Brightville High School, and Lily, the quiet girl who loved painting. Noah noticed Lily when she drew a sketch of him during art class. At first, it was sweet, but Noah's friend didn't like Lily. They made fun of her simple clothes and how she never went to parties. "You are too good for her," they told Noah. Slowly, he started listening. He became distant, missing their dates and ignoring her texts. Lily cried in her room, wondering if love was supposed to hurt this much. Meanwhile, Sophia and Ethan were two kids who couldn't stand each other. Sophia loved basketball, and Ethan was the top soccer player. They argued about everything, from who deserved the sports hall to who was louder during practice. On rainy afternoon, the roof of the sports hall leaked. Sophia and Ethan got stuck inside. They spent hours talking, sharing secrets they have never told anyone. Ethan admitted he wanted to be a chef, and Sophia confessed her fear of disappointing her parents. They found out they weren't so different after all. Over time, their fights turned into jokes, and they became the best of friends. The school carnival brought all these stories together. Jaden surprised Mia with a poem under the star. Lily watched Noah from a distance, holding a sketchbook close, and decided to focus on her acts. Sophia and Ethan laughed together, eating cotton candy and cheering for each other at the game stores. But life at Brightville High School was far from over. As the season changed, so did the heart of these students. Some love stories had just begun, while others were waiting to bloom or heal. The lessons they learned about trust, friendship, and being true to themselves stayed with them, shaping their high school journey. Spring arrived at Brightville High School, bringing warm sunlight and fresh hopes. The school courtyard filled with students laughing, running, and planning for the upcoming spring festival. The festival was a big deal, with talent shows, dance competitions, and booths set up by students. It was a time when everyone's feeling seemed to grow as wild as the flowers blooming around the school. Mia and Jedin signed up for the talent show together. Jedin will recite a poem and Mia will play the piano. They spent hours practicing after school, turning every mistake into laughter. Jedin noticed how Mia's eyes lit up whenever she nailed a difficult part. "You are amazing," he whispered one evening. "I am lucky to have you." Mia smiled but didn't respond. Lately, she had been feeling a little unsure. Her friends were still making comments about Jedin, and even though she loved spending time with him, she couldn't shake the feeling that she didn't fit into his quiet world. Across the hallway, Noah sat with his friends, laughing loudly about some prank they pulled up. Lily walked past them, her head down. She didn't look at Noah, but he noticed the way she clutched her sketchbook tightly, as if it held all her broken pieces. He wanted to talk to her, to apologize, but his pride got in the way. Meanwhile, Sophia and Ethan were working on a sports-themed booth for the festival. They joked and teased each other, but there was something different in the way Ethan looked at Sophia now. He admired her determination and the way she always stood up for what she believed in. Sophia, on the other hand, found herself wondering why Ethan's smile made her heart race. The festival day arrived, and the school was buzzing with excitement. Mia and Jedin's performance was magical. Jedin's words painted pictures of love and hope, and Mia's music brought them to life. The audience erupted in applause, but Mia felt a strange ache in her heart. Later, when Jedin held her hands and said, "This was the best day ever," she hesitated before nodding. Noah spent the festival avoiding Lily, even though his eyes searched for her in the crowd. Lily, tired of feeling invisible, decided to showcase her act in one of the booths. Her painting drew a crowd, and people admired her talent. When Noah finally saw her work, he realized how much he had lost. Sophia and Ethan's booth was a hit. They worked together seamlessly, their banter making everyone laugh. At the end of the day, Ethan surprised Sophia with a small keychain shaped like a basketball. "I saw this and thought of you," he said, looking nervous for the first time. Sophia blushed, mumbling a thank you as her heart did a little flip. The festival ended, but the emotions it stirred lingered. Mia and Jedin faced a crossroad in their relationship. Lily began to find strength in her acts, even as Noah struggled with his feelings. Sophia and Ethan grew closer, their friendship taking on a new depth. Brightville High School was alive with stories of love, heartbreak, and friendship. And as the students walked into the next chapter of their lives, they knew one thing for sure: love was never simple, but it was always worth the journey. As the festival faded into memories, life at Brightville High School returned to its usual rhythm. But for Mia, Jedin, Noah, Lily, Sophia, and Ethan, things were far from ordinary. The festival had left its mark, and their lives began to change in unexpected ways. Mia walked into the school the Monday after the festival, her mind heavy with thoughts about her relationship with Jaden. They were perfect on paper. He was kind, caring, and always made her laugh. But deep down, she felt something was missing. During lunch, she sat with Jaden under their favorite oak tree. He was scribbling in his notebook, a smile on his face. Jaden, she began hesitantly. He looked up, his eyes full of warmth. Have been thinking. I am not sure if I am the person you deserve. Jaden's smile faltered. What do you mean? I feel like we are different in ways I can't explain. I don't want to hurt you, but I need time to figure out what I really wanted. Jaden was silent for a moment. Then he nodded, his voice steady despite the pain in his eyes. If that is what you need, I will wait for you. Meanwhile, Noah finally worked up the courage to approach Lily. He found her in the art room, painting a vibrant sunrise. Lily, he said softly. She glanced at him, but didn't stop painting. What do you want, Noah? I messed up, he admitted. I let my friend's opinion get in the way of what really mattered. Us. I am sorry. Lily put down her brush and looked at him. It is not just about your friends, Noah. You made a choice, and I can't pretend it didn't hurt. I am learning to put myself first now. I am not sure if we can go back to how things were. Noah nodded, guilty washing over him. I understand, but I will prove to you that I have changed. Sonia and Ethan, on the other hand, were spending more time together than ever. Their chemistry was undeniable, but neither of them wanted to ruin their friendship by admitting their growing feelings. One evening, after basketball practice, Ethan waited for Sonia outside the gym. Hey, he said, holding out a bottle of water. Thanks, she said, taking it with a smile. I was thinking, maybe we should team up for the upcoming sports day relay race, he suggested. Sophia raised an eyebrow. You want to team up with me? Aren't we supposed to be rivals? Ethan grinned. I think we will make a pretty great team. Sophia laughed, feeling a want she couldn't quite explain. All right, you are on. As weeks turned into months, the season shifted again. Mia and Jaden tried to navigate their time apart, with Mia exploring new hobbies and friendships, while Jaden poured his heart into his writing. Noah made small efforts to win back Lily's trust, helping her set up an art exhibit at the local community center. Sophia and Ethan trained for the relay race, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. But life at Brightsville High School was never without surprises. Old feelings resurfaced, new conflicts arose, and the students found themselves caught up in a wild wind of emotions that tested their hearts like never before. Their journeys were far from over, and the next chapter promised to be even more unforgettable. Noah kept his word about proving himself to Lily. He showed up at the community center every weekend to help with her art exhibit. At first, Lily kept her distance, but as time passed, she noticed how genuine Noah's efforts were. He wasn't trying to impress her with grand gestures. Instead, he supported her quietly, respecting her space. One evening, as they were arranging her paintings on display boards, Lily turned to him. Why are you really doing this, Noah? He paused, holding a painting of a starry sky. Because I realized how wrong I was. You didn't deserve what happened, and I hate that I hurt you. He hesitated before adding, and because I cared about you, Lily, I always have. Lily's heart softened, but she wasn't ready to forgive completely. I appreciate your help, she said, but it will take time for me to trust you again. That's okay, Noah said with a small smile. I will wait as long as it takes. Elsewhere, Mia found herself spending more time with a group of classmates she hadn't interacted with before. They were lively and adventurous, always up for spontaneous plans. Among them was Brian, a boy with an easy laugh and a knack for making everyone feel involved. Brian's boldness was a stark contrast to Jaden's quiet nature, and Mia couldn't help but feel drawn to his energy. One afternoon, the group planned a hike up Sunrise Hill. Mia hesitated at first, thinking about how Jaden would have preferred a calm evening with books and tea, but she decided to go. As she reached the top, breathless but exhilarated, Brian turned to her. You are glowing, he said with a grin. Mia laughed. It is the sweat. No, Brian insisted. It is something else. You look happy. For a moment, Mia felt a pang of guilt. She missed Jaden, but she also liked the way Brian made her feel, like she was discovering a new version of herself. Meanwhile, Sophia and Ethan continued their relay race training. They spent hours on the track, pushing each other to run faster, jump higher, and laugh harder. One evening, as the sun set behind the school, they sat on the bleachers, sharing a bag of chips. You have been unusually quiet today, Sophia said, nudging Ethan. He shrugged, a rare hint of shyness in his unusual confident demeanor. Just thinking. About what? He looked at her, his blue eyes serious. About how you have become the best part of my day. Sophia blinked, caught off guard. Ethan, what are you saying? I am saying I like you, Sophia, he said, his voice steady. More than a friend. Sophia felt her heart race. She opened her mouth to respond, but was interrupted by the sound of footsteps. It was their coach, calling them back to the field. The moment passed, but Sophia couldn't stop thinking about Ethan's words. At Briceville High School, emotions were running high and decisions had to be made. Mia struggled with the pull between her past and her present. Noah fought to rebuild what he had lost, and Sophia faced the possibility of turning friendship into something more. The days at Brightsville High School grew more intense, with emotions bubbling just beneath the surface. The annual sports day was fast approaching, and the excitement was contagious. For Sophia and Ethan, it was a chance to show off their hard work during the relay race, but for everyone else, it became a backdrop for deepening feelings, unresolved conflicts, and new beginnings. Mia was walking to class when she saw Jaden in the library, surrounded by a group of students. He was reading aloud one of his poems. his voice calm and steady. The way everyone listened and captivated made Mia's heart ache. She missed how easy things were with Jaden, but she couldn't deny the thrill she felt around Brian. That evening, Mia sat on her bed, staring at her phone. A message from Brian popped up. "Game night at my place tomorrow. You in?" She typed a quick "sure" and hit send. Then her eyes drifted to the notebook on her desk, the one filled with Jaden's poems. She picked it up and flipped through the pages, her chest tightening. She couldn't help but wonder if she was making a mistake. Noah, meanwhile, continued to help Lily prepare for her exhibit. The night before the opening, Lily stood in front of her favorite painting, a swingling mix of blues and golds. "This one is special," she said. "Why?" Noah asked, stepping closer. "Because it's about finding peace after a storm," she replied. She turned to him, her eyes soft. "Thank you for being part of that peace." Noah's breath caught. "Lily, I..." Before he could finish, the gallery door opened and Lily's parents walked in. The moment was lost, but the look they shared stayed with him. On the track, Sophia and Ethan were running their final practice lap before sports day. As they crossed the finish line, Sophia collapsed onto the grass, laughing. "We are going to crush this," she said, catching her breath. Ethan sat beside her, his expression thoughtful. "You never answered me the other day." "Answered what?" Sonia asked, though she knew exactly what he meant. He leaned closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "You know that." Sophia's heart raced. She looked at him, trying to find the right words, but all she could imagine was, "I don't want to ruin us, Ethan." "You won't," he said, his gaze unwavering. "I promise." Sports day finally arrived, and the entire school gathered on the field. The energy was electric, with students cheering and banners waving. Sophia and Ethan stood at the starting line, their hands brushing briefly as they prepared for the race. "Let's win this," Sophia said, her competitive spirit shining through. "Together," Ethan replied, smiling. As the whistle blew, they took off, their legs perfect in sync. They ran like the wind, and when they crossed the finish line, the crowd erupted in applause. Sophia threw her arms around Ethan, crying and laughing at the same time. In that moment, she realized she didn't want to hide her feelings anymore. Elsewhere on the field, Mia stood with Brian, watching the races. He nudged her playfully. "So what do you think? Did the new Mia like sports day?" She smiled, but her mind was elsewhere as she watched Jaden across the field, talking to a group of students. She felt a pang of longing. Brian was fun and exciting, but Jaden was home. The day ended with celebration, but for Mia, Noah, Lily, Sophia, and Eden, it felt like the beginning of something new. Their stories were still unfolding, with choices to be made and paths to follow. And as the sun set over Brightville High, they knew their journey was far from over. Thanks for watching. Would you like me to continue this story? Let me know in the comment section. Hi besties! Hope you enjoyed the video. Kindly like, share and subscribe for more interesting story. Bye bye.